Chicago Bulls, 44.5. So it's worth remembering with this number that Lonzo, it seems like, is not going to be ready for the start of the year.
Yep.
They won 46 games last year.
Yep.
That was
after
with DeMar. After a very hot start. That was with DeMar playing 76, Zach LaVine playing 67, Lonzo playing 35, Caruso only playing 41, and Pat Williams only playing 17. So they won more games last year without like a great amount of health. Honestly, like I think they got a little bit unlucky with health. I think this is an over. I think it's like a solid over.
No, I like it.
Maybe I'm crazy on it.
I think the concern is that other teams around them get better potentially, but
yeah.
I would agree. Like I don't see why they can't win 46 again. So, yeah, I mean, I like you said, like it's hard to figure out exactly what this team is because I still don't like some of the fits. Like I mentioned when we were talking about that potential trade, like the Vucevic DeRozan fit in particular, just you have to basically pick one DeMar is obviously the pick that you make to like give the ball, but like it just it pushes Vooch to the periphery, which means he can't be, Bulls fans yell and scream about wanting Vooch to be more aggressive and dominate at the rim. And I'm like, that's not him, man.
That's not who he is.
Like he's a finesse post, great footwork, shooter guy. And like, he can dominate in that way, but you have that in DeMar DeRozan. They occupy the same space. DeMar's going to be in the post, hitting
mid-post,
spin arounds, fadeaways. And that's where Vooch wants to be. And you can't really do the same thing. And obviously you're going to pick DeMar, especially if he has a season like last year. So I just don't love the fits. I think there's some moves to be made. And I'm interested to see what Karnisovas does, especially if they start the year off a little flat. Like if they're a 12-12 team early, like where do they start to look? Or do they start to look anywhere? I agree. Like I think if you can, they were not healthy last year and were above this. I think if you feel like last year wasn't a complete mirage from DeMar, and I don't think,
for what it's worth,
I don't think it was. I don't think it'll be necessarily that good. But again, like he doesn't have to be quite that good if they're healthy. Like there was that stretch where he was having like Harden type numbers when they were really hurt. And like scoring.
But here's the thing. Like you get probably, similar number of games from Zach LaVine. You get, hopefully DeMar stays healthy because DeMar has been pretty healthy throughout the course of his career.
Yeah.
Like he's
not a above the rim guy. Like we talked about earlier. Like it's just tends to be better health.
You could say the same about Vooch, by the way, not an above the rim guy.
LaVine and, Caruso kind of flies around the court and gets elbowed in places.
But you have to hope that Caruso plays more than 41 games. And then Pat Williams, if you think Pat Williams is going to be better than, if you think Pat Williams is like a starting power forward, that's a big differentiator for them where he could really make an impact.
I agree. Especially
pushing them to like 50 wins potentially. So this is an over for me. Like this is
solid.
It's not quite on the board, but like it's pretty close, I think.
I can dig it.